Shaka tries to reach Pythagoras following the explosion he heard, but he receives no response. He sends a Kamiko to search the tower, but someone takes it out, cutting off the security image. Luffy realizes that the communication device he is wearing does not operate any longer, as if all communications have been cut off. Zoro says, "What's up, Luffy?" Luffy asks Shaka if something wrong with the communication, and says everyone's voice cut off suddenly. Throughout the labiface, everyone is searching for Dr. Vegapunk. In Tower A Floor 3, Nami and Brook are traveling with Edison. Nami gets sidetracked by diamonds. Edison says, "Hey, aren't you being a bit forward? Most just say they're pretty." Brook says there is no harm in it, right? Everyone is evacuating after all. Edison says, "You are not wrong there, but I still reckon you folks have got a screw loose." Nami with a bag of jewelry replies to Edison and says, "Phew, this is heavy, should we all get back?" Edison angrily says, "We are supposed to be looking for the Stella." Nami disappointedly says, "Fine, I'll just leave them for now, but we better come back for them." Edison says, "You know those diamonds are man-made. They are meant to be for industrial purposes only." Nami says, "What? You can make diamonds?" Edison replies and says, "What's with that look on your face?" Nami says, "The future really is a place for dreams." Edison says, "Enough already. Stella, where are you?" On floor 2, Chopper and Robin are with Atlas, who reveals that her face is a mask and she can replace whatever part of her gets damaged. Robin then notices something which Atlas reveals is an artificial organ, which amazes Chopper, though Robin notes she thought Vegapunk had gotten chopped up, much to Atlas' discomfort. In the command room, 4th building A, Luffy asks Shaka what's going on, but Shaka is not paying attention, and says, "Edison, do you read me?" Luffy tells Shaka that I could hear everyone fine a second ago. "I swear I didn't break it or knock it, or anything else." Shaka says it's not that and tells Luffy to look at the monitor. Shaka says the camera feeds, they are going out one after another. Luffy is confused of what Shaka is saying. Shaka tells Luffy that there is someone in the lab. Luffy is shocked and says, "What?" In the B Tower, Sanji and Jinbei have gone with Stussy, with Sanji swooning over her and asking if she would call him a dog, while she flirtatiously reminds him to find Vegapunk. Jinbei acknowledges how huge the part of the lab they are in is as Stussy reveals that they are on the weapons manufacturing floor, so they can't be setting off any shockwaves. As for the last group, which consists of Usopp, Franky, Lilith, and York, the 4 head to Tower C. Usopp says, "A bubble gun." Lilith replies and says, "That's right, it makes strongest bubbles that can bounce anything back." Usopp asks what kind of an attack just bounces off. Franky yells for Vegapunk's name. The group end up finding Pythagoras' body, albeit with his head missing. Thankfully, Pythagoras turned out to be fine, as he had detached his head from his body before he sustained damage. He starts freaking out over what happened. Lilith says, "What happened? Some kind of an accident?" "No, this looks like an attack." Pythagoras replies and says, "It was the darndest. It'll sound impossible, but I know my eyes were not playing a trick on me. I'm forced to wonder if we made a grave miscalculation." Lilith tells him to spit it out already. York walks over to S. Snake. She tells her to wait outside since Edison ordered her to stand down, but instead, S. Snake petrifies York. A confused Lilith tries to get her to stop, but S. Snake ignores and fires a laser at the 4. It destroys the bridge they were on and they all fall, though they land safely. Lilith tries to reach Shaka but fails to do so, and when Franky suggests they fight back, Lilith tells him it is impossible to beat a Seraphim. Back in Tower A, Zoro says, "Luffy, gimme a hand." Luffy replies and says, "What's up, Zoro?" Luffy and Shaka meet up with Zoro as they see that S-Bear and S-Hawk have breached the room. Shaka tells the Seraphim to stop and asks who ordered them to move. Zoro says, "Good, you can stop them, right? They were gunning for CP0, and says letting them die in cuffs would leave a bad taste in my mouth." 2 Seraphim open fire. Thankfully, they evade their attacks while also saving the unconscious Lucci and Kaku, who were in the Seraphim's sights. Shaka says if they won't take my orders, then they may already be acting on Vegapunk's command. Between the communication blackout and barrier closing us in, this is beginning to seem like an elaborate plan. He also realizes that someone is trying to kill everyone by trapping them and cutting off communications, and that they set up this situation very carefully. Lucci and Kaku then wake up. Lucci says they are trying to kill us. Kaku says, "Those no good Seraphim scamps." Kaku says, "Hey Straw Hat and Roronoa, how about we let bygones be bygones?" For now, Lucci tells Luffy and Zoro that they could form a temporary alliance. The 2 of them would be more useful out of these cuffs, but Zoro and Luffy look disgusted after what Lucci said. What do you think of this chapter? Leave your answers in the comments section below. And I would really appreciate it if you press that subscribe button.